And then if I have to zoom in, a favorite moment that sticks out to me is Cress.
Yeah.
When he shared about his new relationship and how he would put a coat down if it was raining. For a puddle. The amount of times I have thought about driving down the street and I think about Cress wanting to put his jacket down so that his girlfriend would not walk on a puddle. I have thought about that so many times. I've chuckled to myself. And I love when Kim then says, y'all, the feeling that we are feeling is hope. And I'm like, that whole exchange is my favorite moment.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Camille, and this is Enneagram for the Culture, where two dope Black therapists discuss how therapy, Blackness, and the Enneagram come together.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. And this is our season finale.
Yes. Yeah, what a season.
What a season. It's been fun.
It's been really, really good.
Yes.
Really good. So happy to be here with you. I'm going to share how the Enneagram has shown up for me lately, as recent as this morning. Like just before we started recording, I was really grateful that I just felt like I could ease into this morning. So finding that balance, I had my list and it's been a productive morning so far, but it hasn't felt like I was trying to cram a lot in. And it's been really nice to just feel like I could take my time and ease right into this so that I didn't, sometimes we've talked about coming in here, like, feel like we just like flew in here. So, so it's been nice. So yeah, I feel like anytime for any of us, like we can access that, but I think it's really good for threes to be able to lean into that. Be it in the mornings or just seasons. I feel like I'm kind of in that, like this is part of this season I'm in, is to be okay, just kind of easing and finding that balance of ease and being productive.
I like that. That's a good one. I was laughing because you said you like felt like you could just ease into the morning and then you like jumped on with me and I was like, my mind was buzzing and poor Kim had to jump on quickly in terms of like energy because I was buzzing around with thoughts and questions for her. So
Camille, yeah. Camille took the words right out of my mouth. Took the words right out of working me, just making me work.
Sorry about that. My mind zips a little bit. Okay. I love that for you. And I'm just, yes, the ease and just flowing. I'm just loving that. For me, the Enneagram showed up for me and I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of a throwback. I know one of the episodes we talked about my summer bucket list. And so the summer is wrapping up and, I, have just had the best summer and it's been just how the Enneagram showed up for me was just how joyful the summer was. And it was, the list also provided like structure because it made me like have to like, not have to, but be like, oh, I said I was going to go do this. I said I needed to do this. Like, I said I wanted to do that. And it just made it just this perfect summer of joy and fun, but then also like the sevenness as well of like, there is some level of structure to it. And there is like a list form of it. And so I feel like just noticing how the summer has turned out feels like how how the Enneagram has shown up for me recently.
So did you check everything off your list?
I did. There's one thing I didn't, and it's because my family ended up coming in town that weekend. And so it was to go to Black August in the park, which is like a set thing on a set day here in town. But my parents came in town that weekend, so I wasn't going to be able to go to Black August in the park. So that one got crossed off, but everything else, yeah, I did. There's big things and small things. And, some things are like have an ice cream cone. And then there's big things like Beyonce or outdoor concert. So there was stuff that was like little things here and there. watch a certain movie that I love to watch during the summer. But then there was like not tasks, but events as well. So it was good.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
It was a really special like thing to have and to do. And I highly recommend it for folks, whether it's for fall or for winter, or for spring or summer. Like, what's your bucket list? What are the things you want to lean into and accomplish, if you will, in quotation marks?
I think I agree. Because there's something we just came up recently, like with a client, how powerful it can be to like put stuff down on paper, be it a list, an affirmation, a post-it, but something where you're intentionally like taking something from your mind or from your heart and putting it on paper. Like, it really, like, it's incredible how much that can line up with, with your reality, with your experience, and to be able to look back and say, hey, I said I wanted to do these things or this thing, and I did. Like, it happened. So definitely do it. Go you. So are you going to do one for the fall?
No. But I think I am going to do one for the summer again. The reason why I said that so quickly is because my fall usually feels, I just don't need one for fall. Fall falls. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of flows and happens. No, I'm good. So I think I want it to become like a yearly summer thing, is to have like a yearly summer bucket list. Yeah.
Really quick, speaking of fall, have you had pumpkin spice anything yet?
Yes. This is a stupid story. I do not think that fall starts until the solstice, the calendar, September 23rd. So I'm still preserving summer. I used to have an interesting relationship with fall. We're good now, but I like fall, but I used to get scared during fall because I don't like winter. And so I would get scared in fall that, oh God, this means winter's happening. So I like to preserve summer. Anyways, so I went to one of my favorite coffee shops because last weekend was going to be the last weekend of the brown sugar coconut latte. I love the brown sugar coconut latte. I try and get as much as I can in the summer. So it was the last weekend. So I was like, oh, I'll go get it. They ran out they didn't have it anymore. And so they had already switched over the pumpkin spice latte. So I had to have the pumpkin spice latte. I didn't have to, but I had the pumpkin spice latte. It was delicious. It was amazing.
Neil has such a pissed off look on her face right now. It's so hard.
I wasn't ready.
The look of disdain on your face. I know I'm love pumpkin spice, but I can hear how, lots of conflicts here because it's not quite time today. And you were really looking forward to the brown sugar coconut situation. But
it was a good I am a pumpkin spice girl. And so I do like all the pumpkin spice stuff. I just wasn't ready for it yet.
Gotcha.
You?
I don't like pumpkin spice.
Oh, you're not a pumpkin spice girl. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nope. Mm-hmm. I don't like pumpkin.
That's fair. Some people, it's not their thing. Mm-mm. So it won't be on your fall bucket list is to have a pumpkin spice latte. That's not going to be there.
No. Nope.
Well, for this episode, we just kind of wanted to check in, see how we were doing, and then also kind of recap a little bit the season, kind of favorite moments, and then look forward to what's happening next season. So jumping in, Kim, what's been up since we first checked in?
Me?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go first.
I'm just looking at the structure that you so intentionally made sure you calm down.
I know. So what has been up for me, is kind of piggybacking on the summer bucket list. I know. Summer bucket list is that what's been up is just kind of like still soaking in those last rays of summer and still just enjoying it all. And just really has been a joyful season. I think I remember starting off this season sharing how I'd kind of been coming out of a sad season and a winter season. And so this felt like such a joy. And I've just been really thankful. Last weekend in particular, why is this answering? Last weekend in particular, I had a really cool free weekend. And I just got to like romp around and play and be spontaneous and be free. And it felt like a really great like capstone to the season that I'm in right now of just lightness and joy. So that's what's been going on for me. It's just really joyful, fun, all the things.
I love to hear you say romp around. You know that. You know that. Whenever you start talking about romping around, I'm like, yes.
I do.
Yes. Camille's in her element. Oh, romper.
Yes.
I love that for you. And we'll get into like talking about how we've seen each other in the season, but so much of what you just shared ties into that for me. So it's been great to witness that as your friend. You living it up and enjoying your summer, and knowing that is not, that there's more to your experience than that, and knowing that a big part of that is connected to you allowing yourself to go through all that you've gone through. So go you.
Thank you. What's been going on for you, Kim?
Yeah, mostly, having my notes work with an upside down smiley. Because, we know that that's probably always what's going to be going on with me to some degree is some element of work. So work is still really good. In my new office.
Yes.
So that's different from the top of the season. Settled in there, seeing people in person again. That's just been really incredible. I can't remember if I've already shared with you, Camille. I think I shared with some other friends that I realized like the first person that I saw in person, like it kind of hit me that morning as I was getting ready, how much I like over the past 3 years had not really been allowing myself I hadn't been aware of how the grief, like how sad I was about not having it and how much I missed that. So, but it was good. It was a nice kind of like, okay, so this is what you're feeling. This is what you have been feeling, but just haven't been in touch with. And I think that's just back to that, feeling like kind of you have to power through. So it was cool to have all of that come together and just sharing.
I want to slow that down a second because I know so many people, I feel like as a therapist, a lot of people always are asking me like, I don't know if you get this question a lot. Like, do you see people in person or in virtual? Like, it's a very like fast, easy question people ask. And so just share, like, if you could share, like, yeah, like, it sounds like what you're saying is that like, I've started seeing people back in person again now when before you've been virtual for the past 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are some people that I've been seeing for 3 years that I've never met in person. And that is shifting now. And it's something that like, before COVID, we never like had that experience ever. So yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend I was meeting. It was kind of like a colleague friend. And she was asking, she's like an intern. She's starting off on her journey. And she asked me, which one do you prefer, in person or virtual? And I for a good amount of the pandemic, I was just virtual, but then I started to see people in person a lot quicker than Kim did. And so I have always kind of had hybrid, where my days would kind of be split. And so and I've had hybrid for probably 2 to 3 years, and I would shut it down different if there was like peaks. But anyways, she asked me, which one do you prefer? And I really was like, I don't even think I can answer that anymore. Like it's both, like it's so much like both that I do virtual and in person that I can't pick which one I like more because it's so woven into our job now. Whereas if you asked me that 2 years ago or 5 years ago, I would have been like, well, duh, in person. But now it's like, oh yeah, virtual's fine too. Like, so it's just interesting how that in and of itself has shifted our jobs in the last 3 years, that we're super comfortable with virtual now. Whereas before that was not what we were comfortable with.
Yeah. A lot of people, like, as I'm making this transition, you have clients are like, well, like, are we still going to be able to do virtual? I'm like, yeah, we've always been able to do virtual. Just people just weren't doing it because, they didn't want to. And then the need wasn't there so much, but it's always been, I mean, since technology's had the capacity, it's been available. It's been a thing. You've been able to bill for it with your health insurance. So, yeah, this is where we are. For the most part, people are hybrid, I think. Or if they're doing in person at all, a lot of people have decided that, virtual is the way for them.
I'm glad that you've gotten to have in person again. Even though I can't pick, they're both wonderful. There is a special thing about in person, just like there's a special thing about virtual. There's like pros to virtual and there's pros to in person. And so I'm glad that you've gotten to experience the pros to in person again. Because there is something fun about that.
It's just something remarkable, I feel like, about, just being able to just being in the same space. So, and then I am getting ready for Beyonce.
Yes, Kim has still not seen her. She's at the tail end, not the tail end, near the tail end.
Yes. No, yeah. I looked at my calendar yesterday and I visually saw the week I'm on and the week I'm in New Orleans with the Queen, and my hands started sweating. It is almost time.
You have waited patiently. Kim has also avoided spoilers. She doesn't even know.
It's been hard. It's been hard. And I've been scared at times. I've told, I've never, FOMO's not typically really a thing for me. Typically I'm good with however the chips fall. But this right here, if something happens and I cannot get there, oh my gosh. So I'm praying about that and just working my way through that. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be great. But yeah, I didn't think about this part when I got the tickets, that it would be
a long way.
Challenging. Yeah, to see the whole world going.
And I'm going to ask our listeners to please send thoughts, prayers, energy, whatever to Kim, because I've already seen it in the show. I literally was like, Kim's going to fall out. Like Kim.
I feel like I am. I really, and I've been saying that to my girls. I'm like, look, I'm glad. I just want y'all to know I'm going to get there and lose. I'm going to fall out. I'll probably fall out. So
we need to send a special force that if Kim falls out, she still stays conscious. She still stays on her feet. We want her to experience it at a level that is amazing, but doesn't take her out of the experience. That is my hope and prayer. There's one part in particular, and I'm like, Kim is going to lose her mind. Like, she's just going to love it.
You're right. You know me well. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that prayer. I receive it in Jesus' name. Yes, for sure. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited to debrief with you afterwards.
I know. You've been so great. Camille has been so great. She's been so great.
I've been holding my tongue.
Even just before we started recording today, she's like, oh, I want to tell you something. Do you want to know? And I'm like, no, wait. You're
going to love it. You're going to love it. And I really can't wait to dissect it with you. There's so much goodness in there. And she just does an amazing, amazing job. She's not human. She's not human. She's not. She has a special.
One of one.
It's a special anointing that I'm in awe of. And I'm thankful that we are on this earth at the same time as her. To experience it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's jump into the season. Favorite moments.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many. So we thought we would break them down into categories.
So we're doing favorite hope, favorite gem, and favorite song.
Yes. Things that our guests shared, because our guests shared some amazing things throughout the season. Yeah. I guess first, do you have an overarching favorite moment that's not one of those character categories? I just put you on the spot.
So let me just really quick, just disclaimer. I don't like when we say favorite, we use that. For me, that term very loosely. Have to pick, then I'll pick. But I don't like having to pick, especially when it comes to stuff like this, because there were so many, like you've already said, so many great moments. I don't know. I would probably having Max on, probably that whole experience of just, just felt like a full circle moment, to have somebody who's been in your life for so long and to witness his journey and be a part of it. And to have him on and sharing it. It was just that's a highlight for me.
I love that. That was really special to have him on. I thought that was just so cool that you guys were childhood friends. Loved the wisdom shared. Loved their spirit. So loved that. That's a great favorite moment. Mine, I think, is sort of, I have two. I'm sorry. This is my disclaimer for favorites is I'm probably going to have two things. My favorite moment is an overarching is that every episode we would probably reach out to the person afterwards and just kind of be like, hope you liked it, like blah, blah, blah. And I really felt like they felt really proud. Like I felt proud listening to their episodes, but it felt like they also were like, wow, that was actually really good. Or wow, I was really wise. Or wow, I like that. I'm really actually encouraged by that conversation. And I felt like there were so many times we would end a conversation. I was like, wow, that person just like nailed it. Like so beautiful what they just shared. And just to have our guests also recognize that within themselves was a favorite moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to share with you what one of our recent guests shared about listening to their episode. So yes, that was really sweet. And then if I have to zoom in, a favorite moment that sticks out to me is Cress.
Yeah.
When he shared about his new relationship and how he would put a coat down if it was raining for a puddle. The amount of times I have thought about driving down the street and I think about Cress wanting to put his jacket down so that his girlfriend would not walk on a puddle. I have thought about that so many times. I've chuckled to myself. And I love when Kim then says, y'all, the feeling that we are feeling is hope. And I'm like, that whole exchange is my favorite moment.
Oh, gosh. I love that. Yeah, I remember you. What do you like? What do you think that's about? What is it about the fact that he would do that, said that he would do that? Why did that stick with you so much?
I think it was the comedy of it, like the way. First of all, it was just like what he was saying and how he was saying it was so. There was a comedic element of it, of like, if I could put down it was just funny, but then there was also truth to it, obviously, and I felt, the hope. I felt. We said this so much in that episode. You don't hear. Even if men do it individually, even if they do it in their intimate relationships, which they do. We know that they do. I love Dio talked about, like, we can't just one note men, like there's complexity to them. And I think Cress beautifully shared that. But we don't hear it publicly. Like, you don't hear about it. And so I guess I just loved hearing it publicly about, like, no, I'm really attuned to my partner and I'm listening to if she needs water and if she needs a sandwich and if she, what she needs. And so to hear that just was hopeful, but then also such a sweet reminder. So yeah, I think that's why I loved it. And it was just funny.
I'm gonna, since you did two and you zoomed in to zoom out. So I zoomed in at first, I'm gonna zoom out, and it kind of builds on what you just shared. I think for us we got feedback quite a bit in Lisa last season. This is a part of her kind of prayer for us and encouragement for us is that people would feel like safe with us, and that we are trustworthy, that we won't do harm in exploring some of these elements and notions that we talk about on this show, and that at times, when not done with care and intention, can do harm. And so we've gotten that feedback a lot, from guests this season, that they felt, cared for and seen, and that we do work hard and have intention in making sure this feels like a space that is safe for us, to be vulnerable and to maybe show up in ways that, the society at large says as Black people, you can't show up in this way, or as a Black man, you can't show up in this way, for us to feel like here, no, you can really be you. And that's not about your type. We talk about your type, but you guys know we talk about our types to learn, to distinguish who we really are from how we can kind of cover up. So
yes,
I love that we did that this season. And the bios, just having so many dope people on here and sharing the dope things that these dope people are doing in our community. So
yeah, the bios were special. It was fun to hear each episode. We kept being like, the bio. We loved the bios. Okay, so zooming in a little bit, what Kim has been, or I can start, or you can start, whichever way. What was one of the favorite hopes that one of our guests shared? What was a hope that stuck out to you that has still been kind of rolling around in your head?
Yeah, it was all of them, but I think Jessica's was probably the one that stood out to me the most. And that was to be whole and free, for us to be whole and free as a people. It just resonates so much with me, and why, I'm inspired to do the work that I do, be that, Enneagram, podcast, therapy, speaking, whatever, coaching. I hope that for us too, so much. So I think that was my favorite.
Mine is, the same word. It was Brittany, when Brittany shared wholeness. And that really stuck out to me. And then even Cress, I felt like, kind of dove into that as well, because he talked about that Black people could just like what they like, do what they, and he talked about, again, that with how he shows up as his Enneagram type. But then it also it kind of threw back to like when we talked about in the first episode, about like me liking Taylor Swift and like being able to just be free and whole and just be you and not feel like there has to be constraints. And so that idea of wholeness that Brittany and Jessica and Cress talked about, I think is a hope that really resonated with me.
With both of us. And so I think you low-key kind of corrected me there. So I have whole and free written down, but I do think that was from our conversation with Brittany. For Jessica, I think her words were more so for us to be able to just lean into the fullness of ourselves. Yeah, know the fullness of yourself.
Ooh, yeah.
So a theme here.
A theme. So many of our guests had that idea of just, I think Max did too. I think that really was the hope, was wholeness, freedom, fullness, be you. Yeah. Okay. What was a favorite therapy gem that someone shared? Which, by the way, this, again, if I overarch like macro level, our first guest, I think it was Brittany. And we were listening to the rough draft and we asked this question and she answered. And I think I texted you immediately, Kim. And I was like, whoa, this is powerful.
Yeah.
That people are sharing their thoughts about therapy and their gems that they learned. And again, the notion of therapy, Black people, like, we don't talk about it. And so for all of these beautiful guests to like so freely and openly and bravely share something about therapy or their experience or something they learned was just so beautiful to me. Just hearing that question again, like, it just felt like, whoa, this is a big question. And so, yeah, I just loved that part of our conversations with folks.
Definitely. Yeah. And I remember you texted me and I'm like, yeah, like this is a big deal. This is a big deal for us to be like normalizing, this type of conversation, amongst Black people. Mm-hmm. My favorite, if I have to pick a favorite gem, it would have to be The Answers Are Within You. And I think that was Max's episode. It's just that I just so desperately want everybody to know that, when it comes to therapy. Because I think a lot of people that's a misconception that people think that you show up to therapy for somebody else to give you answers or to provide answers for you, and it's not. It's like he said beautifully. It's to help guide you with finding them, but they're already in there. So that was definitely my favorite.
I love that. My favorite was Jessica when she talked about the analogy of a Coke and a Pepsi and like the vending machine. And it's like, why are you expecting, I don't know which way she said it, but why are you expecting to get a Coke when this is a Pepsi machine? It's a Pepsi. I think it was the other way around. And just how with people, like she was saying that with people, that sometimes we expect them to be something that they're just not. And that I think that was a message that lines up with my personal space right now. But then it just was a good reminder of like, we cannot expect people to be something that they just aren't. So
Yep. And a great visualization to like kind of help remind us of that. Falling into that. Favorite song.
So every episode, a title is a song that we choose for our guest. And after we listen to the rough draft, we pick a song that we think kind of embodies or captures the essence of the episode. And mine was Charlene's Bigger from Beyonce. We try not to put too much Beyonce songs. I think we could probably put a Beyonce song for every episode.
So many times it's like, ooh, Beyonce, no, Kim, no. And
So we kind of hold back. And so for this season, we put Beyonce on for Charlene, Bigger. I think I suggested that one because I was listening to it. I was driving and I actually heard that song and it just really struck me in that moment. And I think I started crying listening to it, which is not surprising because I was just like, wow, this is a really beautiful song around who we are and that we are part of a bigger story. I think I cried when the swell happens when she says you're gonna rise. I think I cried then.
It's a beautiful song.
So that was my favorite song that we picked. And my anecdotal favorite song is that you picked Rhythm Nation for Max. And that whole week I listened to Rhythm Nation. It was such a throwback. And I was like, damn, this is a good song. So Bigger for Charlene. And then when Kim picked Rhythm Nation for Max.
The caveat with Max is what's the Beyonce, Janet is to Max as Beyonce is to me. Though Max also, they loved him some Beyonce too. So I knew I wanted it would be special for those to be Janet songs. And I feel like Rhythm Nation, just speaks to the what he was talking about it as far as like, the justice and how love plays such a role in that. I'm glad that you appreciated the throwback. The Rhythm Nation, I mean, you can't help but kind of bop with, you can't help but move to it. I would say Love is Free. That was for Cress's episode. When I first heard that song, I heard the song before I heard the episode. We had recorded already, but I had not heard it back yet. And I knew when I heard the song that was the song for him. So I was ready to say I got it.
When you said that one too, and I like pushed play on it because I never heard it. And like I think within 1 second I was like, yes, done. This is perfect. Yes.
So I love that. I love that music, y'all know is a love language for me. So I love, taking the time to, intentionally like identify songs that speak to, the message or the vibe or the tone of the person or conversation. So that's been fun.
It's been really fun. It's been fun. It's a bit of fun added part of the guest experience is picking these songs after we have these beautiful conversations with people. I'm remembering too Mimi's of Pretty Brown Skin.
Yeah.
And her conversation was so vulnerable in such a beautiful way. People have shared with me just randomly, like, wow, that was an amazing conversation. And so I loved that song for her too. And for her conversation that she so graciously and bravely shared with us. So,
which reminds me of that's another favorite moment. So all of the like ideas, that were sparked, business opportunities and side hustles and such that somebody should come up with. So, and talking about the rage room and how much we are so deserving of a space to rage. That was definitely a favorite moment.
Yes. I think it was with Milton that we talked about the bio ASMR of like having an app that just reads Black people's bio.
Yeah. You were like, this is so soothing. Come on, let's carry along. So this season, quite a few times, Camille, like how the Enneagram showed up for Camille was her sharing how she saw me, which was nice.
Nice.
It was. And because it's one of the, I feel like you've highlighted a lot kind of when we were first getting started. Like, this is one of the things we and you really value about this tool is how it can help us like kind of not just understand and see ourselves, but see each other and see our people. So, one of the ways I've seen your type show up for you.
You wanted to get me back with this question, didn't you? You're like, look, you blasted me all season. I'm going to tell you how I've seen it show up for you.
Is that how it feels? Is that how you're receiving this, friend? Is that his revenge of some type?
No, but you put me on the spot. Like I put you on the spot with a surprise. We don't talk. Spoiler alert, we don't talk about how the Enneagram shows up for us. We just start talking. And so every time I would do it, Kim's like, oh God. So tables are turned now where I'm like, what is she going to say? How did my Enneagram show up that she noticed?
I'm going to tell you. So like you've already shared with us and like we've shared, like, we are, we're therapists, we're coaches. We, help people figure life out and stuff out, but we're also human. And sometimes we have seasons in our life that are hard and challenging. And so for you to witness you like leaning into that and trusting the challenging parts, the changing parts, the shifting parts, and just how it looks on you, how you've been able to really embrace like the joy that you referenced as far as this season, like we talked about, and even with sevens to be able to trust and have somewhat of an appreciation for the challenges because they can make the joy so much more like meaningful. So, so just witnessing that and how it looks on you, it looks so good on you. And leaning into like, business wise, exploring more and trusting yourself more. And the changes you made, like with your hair, I love. So it's just, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Kim. I receive that and just am thankful for you. And yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's good. Friends are good. It's good to have good friends, and you are one of them. And thank you for walking through the hard and the shifting and stuff with me, and just being encouraging and kind and a good mirror. But then also in this season, like just the fun and the joy and being encouraging of that too. So I hear you. I receive it. Thank you. Yeah.
Not that bad, right?
No, not that bad. Okay. I would say if I get a turn to share again with what I've seen you and how your type has shown up in this season, and particularly in this like podcast season, I've been constantly in awe of Three's ability and your ability. I get to see it up close and I get to be a recipient of it. Is just your confidence in how things will be great. Like you just have a confidence, like with this season of having guests, you just have a confidence of like, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Like, you know, and I think that you Threes and you in particular have this really beautiful ability to see something and see how it can be great. And a confidence, it's not pie in the sky dreaming. It's like, no, I know I can get there. I know we can do it. And I've just loved how you've done that with the podcast in general, but in this season in particular, just your confidence in us, in the work, in the people, in the guests, in the yeses. Like, you know, there was some asks that we asked that we were like, I don't know if she'll say yes. And they did. And so, and Kim was like, yeah, let's shoot our shot. And so why not? And so just really have loved seeing that in you. And again, being a recipient or I guess a co-pilot in that and seeing how that just has been beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll receive that right tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, let's keep it pushing. What about hopes? So let's share, what are your hopes for our audience, for our community for next season?
I was thinking about this question last night. Like if someone were to ask me the question that we asked all of our guests, like, what is your hope for the culture? And the word that came up, not surprising, is more. My hope is more goodness, more growth, more healing, more joy, more Black people traveling, more Black businesses, more Black mermaids, like just more, like just.
Yeah. Oh,
more awards, more movies, more sold out concerts, more. But so the fun stuff, but then yeah, really more healing, more growth. I see it, I feel it, more spaces. Yes, more.
Mine dovetails beautifully there, and it's just to continue to feel seen and cared for in every space you're in. Every space you're in, and definitely here in this space, and that you have access to whatever you need to heal and grow and know yourself. And for next season, that y'all gonna keep rocking with us.
We are excited. Next season, we're going to do interviews again.
Yeah. So yes, yeah, I love that part of kind of where we've landed and where we've grown, and I think that's been so special. We think that's been so special to hear and share people's likeness with the world. What were you going to share something? Was that not going to be on the show? You go share something that somebody, I guess, shared with you recently? Or was that?
I was going to share with you personally.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Stick around. Maybe you'll find out.
I can't share with folks. It was just a guest was sharing that I was just going to share with you more particularly what a guest shared about listening back to their episode and how they felt about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's wrap this up so you can tell me.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Thank you for just being with us. If you have any suggestions, if you have any guests that you think would be amazing on our show, please reach out and let us know, because we are collecting that list and thinking about who we want to kind of chat with. Yeah. Any ideas? We welcome. So thank y'all so much for the support, for being here, for spreading the news, when you stumble on us and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for something like this. I have to tell everybody. We get so many stories about that. So thank you. And yeah,
we'll see you next season.
See you next season.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.